Hello petal heads, Stu here. So if like us, you grow rhubarb and you're starting already to get a little bit fed up with having rhubarb crumble, or the more adventurous amongst you might have tried soaking some rhubarb pieces in gin or vodka, but even that you can have too much of a good thing. Here is a recipe for rhubarb and mint cordial. Obviously you'll need to pick some rhubarb. And if you don't like the sound of rhubarb and mint in a cordial, you can substitute mint for some pieces of star anise or some ginger. It's up to you, we use mint. So once you've picked your rhubarb, give it a nice good clean. If you haven't already, top and tail it. Take off the leaf and cut off the heel part of the stalk at the bottom. And of course, you're going to compost those, aren't you? The next thing you want to do is chop your stalks into pieces that are around an inch. Don't measure them, life's too short. You can weigh it before or after you've cut it into little sections, but I don't suppose it matters. You're after 1 kilogram's worth of rhubarb. That's 1,000 grams. Here comes the mint. And before any of you say, yes, they are forget-me-nots that are scattered in and amongst our mint patch. Now, if you don't grow your mint, it's very easy to get hold of in supermarkets, fresh in a little bag. I'm not going to give you a quantity for this because I suppose it's a matter of taste. If you want quite a strong mint flavour in there, go for it. Go wild with the mint. If you don't, scale it back a bit. Once you've washed it, you'll need to take the leaves off the stalks before we chop it. We don't want the big stalks in there, they don't really do anything. Of course you're going to compost the stalks. Now we actually got 2 varieties of mint in here. We've got some apple mint and some just common or garden mint. I then give it a rough chop. It really is a rough chop. You don't have to cut it into really small pieces. Just cutting it a little bit releases more of the flavour into the rhubarb cordial. I also add the juice of 1 lemon. Now don't worry, it's not going to knock out all the flavour and just make it taste of lemon. You're mainly adding the lemon juice for the citric acid and the preservation qualities that citric acid has. With your pan on a medium heat, add 500 millilitres of water, the lemon juice, and then 500 grams of sugar. If you're following this recipe, now is when you add your mint as well. Remember I said before, you don't have to use mint, you could add star anise or ginger, it's entirely up to you. Let it simmer. All the while that sugar will be dissolving into the liquid and you want it nicely, gently bubbling away. Once the sugar's dissolved and you've got that lovely, gentle, bubbling fang going on, chuck in your rhubarb. You can also turn the heat up a notch at this point. Ooh, steamy. Right, what we're after is the rhubarb chunks to start to break down, so it goes from this to something looking more like this, like a classic stewed rhubarb look. To get it out of the pan and actually turn it into a cordial, you're going to need a sieve and a container that's large enough to hold all the liquid that you'll be collecting from it. So start spooning in the stewed rhubarb into the sieve, letting that liquid drain into your container underneath. And to speed up the liquid coming out of the sieve, give the contents a bit of a work with the back of your spoon, and it really does help. You'll see the liquid coming through quicker. We're not going to have any of this rhubarb in the final product, the cordial. So it's up to you what you do with the rhubarb from the sieve. You can either bin it or you can put it to one side, keep it in the fridge. I believe it goes really nicely on a yoghurt for breakfast. You can see the bowl underneath is filling up nicely now, and just look at that colour. Once you've drained all the cordial liquid out of the rhubarb, you can start filling up a very well washed or sterilised bottle. I'm using a plastic bottle, you can use whatever you want. If you've got a glass bottle, use whatever you've got, so long as it's clean and sterile. This will last in the fridge for around a month. I also freeze this. I think the longest I've had it in the freezer is about 3 or 4 months, and when it defrosted it was fine. So fridge or freezer, it's entirely up to you. Overall, it's a very nice, refreshing summer drink. Now, because this is a cordial, we dilute this when we come to drink it. I use a ratio of roughly 1 part cordial to 4 parts water. Right now there's a playlist on screen where I'll show you other ways that we cook and preserve the food that we grow on the allotment or in the back garden food forest. Thank you so much for watching.